guys, welcome back to my channel. The Last Kingdom, Season 2, Episode 8. This is the finale, right? Yeah, this is the finale. I'm not going to do a recap because, again, you guys know what is happening. At the end of last episode, Ethelflaed asked Uhtred to help her and Eric escape so they could run off and have a life together. So Uhtred could either... Now, Uhtred is a super empathetic person, so I wouldn't be surprised if he released her, but he's also been acting kind of smarter. Like, his character evolution, he's becoming smarter and smarter as he gets reprimanded by Alfred. The rational side of him won't help her escape because he knows Alfred will be super pissed and most likely kill him if he finds out that it was Uhtred that helped her escape. But also, if she stays, he's essentially allowing the Danes to receive the money necessary to build ships, get a huge army, and go attack Wessex. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation, but I always make the wrong predictions when it comes to Uhtred. So I don't know if I'm going to be right in this, but my prediction is that he's going to help her escape. I guess those are all my thoughts. I wanted to keep this recap short because you guys basically know what's going on. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. That episode was crazy, y'all. Okay, let me try to recap everything and get all my thoughts concise. In the beginning of the episode, there was a quote. Father, I don't know what his name is, but they were all riding on horses and he was like, "What binds a man to his land?" And he went on this whole thing that he was talking about, and then he was like, love, it can only be love. And that was kind of the theme this entire episode with Oda. Oda's whole story is just kind of, it's sad to me that Oda's story ended like that, because not only did he serve Alfred, but he served the king that came before him, and he's proven his loyalty to Wessex through, he killed his own son for Wessex, and he said this episode he did it for Wessex, not for the king. He has a genuine love and respect for his own kingdom. So the decision that he made this episode to raise his fear of Devonshire, wherever he's from, is not only because he loves Wessex, but it was because he knew and thought that Alfred would come to Banffliot. So yeah, technically what he did was treacherous and could be punished, but he was doing it all to save the kingdom, and he ended up being the one that saved the day. So that's why it was so tragic and so surprising to me that he killed himself in the end. I was not expecting that, because he was essentially the MVP of the episode, and it ties me back to the quote in the beginning, what ties a man to his land? It's love. It's not wealth, it's not whatever his name is, was saying in the beginning of the episode applies at the end when Oda ended up killing himself for his land, for his kingdom. I'm glad that he ended up making the choice to kill himself. It was kind of very on brand for him. I didn't want to see him go to trial and get killed in any other way, because he didn't really deserve it. Was he a traitor at the end of the day? Yes. But was he acting in the best interest for the kingdom? Also yes. But then we have to understand it also from Alfred's perspective, because that is his daughter. So if they did march, and if that was the first decision that they made, Alfred would essentially be killing his own kid, because as they marched, as they went to go declare war, they would have killed Ethelflaed, the Danes. Alfred also had a really tough decision there, because if she ended up dying if they marched, not only would he have lost a daughter, but king-wise, his duties as a king, he would have lost, Mercia. He would have lost his ties to Mercia, because if she's dead, she can't be married to Ethelred. So yeah, that marriage would have been broken, that bond would have been broken to Mercia, so everything would have went to shit had he decided to march. So we also have to understand it from Alfred's perspective. We can't just ignore how Alfred was feeling in this situation. A lot of different factors ended up being at play in this episode. Oda being the one that knew that he was evidently going to make the sacrifice for his own kingdom, and he ended up dying. There were so many casualties this episode too. Klappa ended up dying. Siegfried and Eric both ended up dying. I was not expecting both of them to die. I was kind of expecting Eric to maybe die this episode, wasn't expecting him to be killed by his own brother, and I wasn't expecting Siegfried to be killed by Ethelflaed. God damn. Now, I don't know if this is how it all went down in the books, because I know that there's books that they adapted into this season, but shit, man, that scene really elevated Ethelflaed from here to here for me. She might be my favorite female character along with Hild. I'm kind of upset that both Eric and Siegfried died, because I never hated them. I always enjoyed watching them on screen, especially Eric and his love for Ethelflaed. It seemed supernatural and super realistic to me, even though it really only occurred over the course of one episode. It happened last episode. I really felt for him, and he ended up dying for her. He ended up dying for his love for her. So, believing that he was going to be able to escape and have this life with her, he was willing to take the risk for her. And Siegfried, on the other hand, was willing to sacrifice his own life for his beliefs, his own beliefs. And at the end of the day, Uhtred is still tied to Alfred. So I think that whole look that Uhtred had at the end with Alfred was just the realization that he still has a duty to Wessex. And he was even saying that in his dialogue at the end. He's more Saxon now than Dane. He's still Dane at heart, but he has Saxon duties right now. His Saxon duties are first and foremost. I don't know if season 3 is going to finally, I don't know if we're finally going to get to see Uhtred achieve his destiny of going to Bebbanburg and taking over Bebbanburg, because he clearly deserves it. He's gone through so much. I think that he deserves to finally call it quits, man, and achieve his own goals, but I don't think it's going to be that easy. This episode was just crazy, crazy good. I don't know what's in store for season 3, but if it's anything like season 2, I'm about to be blown away. So yeah, if I had to predict anything for season 3, I'm gonna predict that Aethelwald, because they've been focusing too much on him. He's such a little weasel. This episode, he helped Oda. He helped Oda the Elder, and he also helped him, again, in the end, basically kill himself. He didn't really help him, but he gave him the knife that made him, kill himself. I think that Alfred is really underestimating him, and the fact that they had a conversation this episode about that, about him basically underestimating him, just proves to me that in season 3, I think that he's going to be a serious threat. Maybe not a serious threat, but I think that his tactics are going to be reason for shit going down. He's kind of like the Littlefinger of the Last Kingdom, in the fact that nobody really sees him as this overt threat, and I think that once people realize it, it's going to be too late. People are going to already have died. Aethelwald is inevitably going to die. I don't know if that's going to be next season, or maybe in the upcoming season, season 4, but I think that his tactics and whatever he's planning, whatever he's doing, because he's scheming hard, it's going to end in the deaths of many people. That's just my prediction. I could be totally wrong. I love Aethelwald. I love watching him on screen, but he is a weasel. So yeah, I guess those are all of my thoughts. I cannot wait for season 3. Hopefully I could start that as soon as possible. As always, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other reactions if you have not already, and stay tuned for season 3. All right, bye guys.